Okay, so now we are going to proceed with layer 2. Layer 2 is all about separating and externalizing that part of you. In the previous sequence, we were generic. We were just neutralizing the subconscious resistance to change. So that's not necessarily going to have a face for you because it's unknown. What we're going to be separating from now is something that you're more consciously aware of. And the way that you're aware of that is by your internal dialogue. All of us have those one-liners that we say when we're trying to attract something. Like if we're trying to attract abundance, we might say, I now affirm that I'm going to attract a certain amount of money. The voice that comes right after that, like, oh yeah, who do you think you are? Or yeah, we've done that so many other times, or whatever. That's really the sabotaging voice. And it's not subconscious, it's very prevalent. And what I'm encouraging you to do is to give a face to that. So the way that you do that is get an affirmation going and use an old clearing technique. I can't remember where I got it from. But on one column, you write what your desire is, and on the next column, you write how you negate that desire. So do a little homework with fleshing out the inner child or the wounded one who's going to sabotage your efforts to succeed. When you've isolated that, now I call that actually in my work the cherished saboteur. So that's that part of you who thinks he or she is protecting you by derailing you. Once you get a face with that, then the first step in the 7-layer process is to have the adult self, who we just empowered in the previous layer, to separate from and externalize that part of you. Now the reason for that is the whole modality of inner child work is based on the ability to interact between your wounded one and the healer within, or the nurturing voice within. What's different between who you were as a child when you were scared and who you are now is that you've got an adult self who can respond to those needs. And this whole 7-layer process is going to assist you in that endeavor. So it's a very layered, concise, comprehensive way of working with that cherished saboteur. And the second layer is the separation process. Now again, refer to my blog and there'll be more information written about that. To do the EFT, we're going to start with the setup phrase, which again is on the karate chop. So just go along with me. If you don't know EFT or if you don't know the energy tapping, then check on my website, joinCathrynTaylor.com, so that you can get that information. All right, let's begin. Even though there's a part of me, a younger, more frightened part of me, who really, really is scared of my endeavors to succeed, I love myself and that part enough to proceed with this healing, to separate from that wounded one, so I can respond to his or her fears. So even though I have a part of me who sabotages all my efforts to succeed, for reasons known and unknown, I love that part of me, and I know that part of me is scared and wounded. And on behalf of that part of me, I'm willing to do the work that can help him or her heal. So even though I have a part of me who really sabotages my efforts to succeed, I am now willing to fully embrace her or him. I'm willing to tap on his or her behalf so that together we can heal. Okay, so that's the setup phrase. Now we're going to do the sequences where you neutralize kind of the resistance and their fears. And then all of this is doing is readying the adult to make the separation so that you can respond. So this isn't interacting yet with the inner child. It is separating from it. All right, start on the corner of the eyebrow. This part of me is really scared. He or she just does not want me to succeed. he or she is trying to protect me. But instead, the efforts derail me from my ultimate goal. Really want to separate from this part of me. Really want to establish a distance so that I can respond to his or her fears. So I can help that part of me heal. Really want to separate. Really want to establish the dyad that can help heal this pattern of sabotage. I'm willing and I'm able to connect with that wounded part of me. I, as the adult, am really ready to help that part of me heal. I am willing to love myself and this part of me enough to tap on his or her behalf. I now see that part of me as separate. I am bigger than my fears. I am bigger than his or her fears. I'm in a position to help him or her heal. And I am so willing to do that now. I am so willing to come into relationship with this wounded one, to help that wounded one be safe. I am willing to see him or her as separate so that I can respond, not collapse into his fears or her fears, but respond to him with love and tenderness and unconditionality. And I choose to do so now. I choose to see this teeter-totter with me as the illuminated adult on one end and my wounded self on the other. And I am going to proceed with this 7-layer process so I can help him or her heal. I will bring this part of me into the fold. I am committed to uniting these parts within me, to helping this part of me come home. And I'm ready to do that now. I'm ready to do that now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that sets up the commitment of your adult self to move forward. And what I invite you to do is just tap along with me. You don't have to restate it. Just let me guide you so that you're just tapping and you're focusing on my words. If you're trying to repeat it, you're going to stumble up on yourself. So just follow with me as if you're surrogately doing it with me. Thank you.